Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we will look into what are React custom hooks and how you can build one to use in your next React project. Now further ado, let's get into it. Now before diving straight into the code, let's first discuss what are custom hooks and why would you need them in the first place. Now, according to reactjs.org, custom hooks lets you extract component logic into reusable functions. What that simply means is custom hooks are just JavaScript functions that let you extract specific component functionality into a JavaScript function that can be reused throughout your React app. Let's say one component in your React app requires a screen width to perform certain UI changes, and you build the entire functionality to get screen width in that component, which is great. But let's now assume some other component in your app requires the same functionality of getting width of the screen. Now, will you rewrite the whole functionality again, or maybe you can copy paste from the component that has the this getting window width and height functionality? But either of those scenarios will go against programming dry principles, and you'll end up with more code to maintain. Now, the scenarios that I mentioned above happen quite often in React apps when multiple components share similar functionality. All those scenarios can be solved using React custom hooks. Now, in the case of getting screen width functionality scenario, we can extract out the screen size functionality in custom hook and use that hook in multiple components. Now, that was a lot of theory. Let me show you how you can create a window resize custom hook in React. Now, I have a basic Create React app here. And this Create React app has a folder called component which I created, and that folder has a component called component 1. Now what this component 1 simply does is on window resize, we'll get the window height and width and height, and then just set the state using set window size setter, which I have defined here. And then we simply render the width and height on the screen, as you can see here. Now if I resize, those numbers will change because we are resizing the width. Now I want to create another component. Let's call it component 2. Now I want to have the same functionality in this component 2 to get the window width and height on screen size change and then display it on the screen. So let me build the basic structure first. There you go. And now I have two options here. One second. Copy this HTML. Currently I don't have these, so let me get rid of these. Okay, so now I have two options here to build this functionality here. Either I can copy paste this whole thing to this component and that should work fine, but I'll end up with more code to maintain, or I can write the whole thing again basically. But we are not going to go with any of those. What we will do is we will extract this whole logic into a custom hook, and which can be reused in both of these components. So what I'll do first is I'll create a folder called hooks. Now I'll create a file called use window resize.js. Now, hooks in React has a naming convention. Most of the all the hooks starts with a keyword use, so that's what we did here. Now, let me import React use state and use effect. Now I'll define a const called use window resize here. Let's export it. Awesome. Now what I'll do here is I'll define state variable called window size and set window size, and then use state will have an object with width set to undefined and height set to undefined as well. Awesome. Now let's define our use effect. Now we only want to run it once the component mounts. That's why we are passing an empty array here. Now we want to attach a event listener to the window. So what I'll do here is window dot add event listener resize. Now let me create a function that is responsible for handling the state change. So window change, call it window size change instead. So what I want to do here is set window size to width to window dot inner width and height to inner height. Awesome. Now I will pass this handle change function to the event listener. Awesome. Now what we want to do is every time a component unmounts, we want to remove the resize event that we added to window. So for that, what we will do is we will simply return a function from use effect, which will to remove event listener, resize, and the function handle window size change. Awesome. So now what we are gonna do is we simply want to return. Now either we can return the whole window size object. Let's do that. Let's return the whole window size object. Awesome. Cool. Now let me copy this, and now we can get rid of all of this. Great. Let's import our custom hook. Hooks slash great. Now if I resize, as you can see, we are still getting the values. So this is working. But there is one small problem. Let me refresh the screen. As you can see, initially when the component mounts and we don't resize the window, these values, height and width, are undefined. So we don't see anything on the screen. So let's solve that first. So what I want to simply do is copy this thingy, setting the state, and I will set the state like this. Now even if we refresh, we will get the window height and width. Now here is how we can, now this is gonna make it super easy to reuse. I'll copy this thingy, paste it in component 2, size. Okay, and now all I have to do is and window size or height. Now we are not currently rendering this component too, so let me go ahead and render it. So I'll copy this, go to our app.js. I will import component 2 here and render it. Awesome. Now look at that. Now these two components are basically sharing the functionality. We extracted the window resize functionality to a custom hook, and as you can see how easy it is to build custom hooks and use them in your components. So this is pretty much it for window resize custom hook. I'll post more videos showing you guys how to build multiple custom hooks. For example, like how to handle local storage using custom hook, how to handle toggle functionality using custom hook. But this is it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Thank you. Bye for now.